You up, wildride? I told you to call me X-brawn. Let's just keep this simple.
What's up, YouTube Nation? This is Havoc, the emo, the collector fiend that runs this scene, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers RID, or Call Robots, X-brawn, or wildride, depending on what your cup of tea is. And this is, I guess you could also consider this a follow-up video to both to my LA conventions. This is where I got it, was from TFCon LA, and I'm so grateful to find it. Some minor issues, but we'll get into that. But yeah, I also just followed in line because I was hunting for this guy. I just did a review on Mac Alerts for Brow, and now it falls perfectly in line. So, without further ado, let's get another video through. A little bit of coffee in me real quick, Alright, so what is there to say about wildride, or X-brawn? Well, we already know he is the eldest of the Autobot brothers. He is considered the toughest and most adventurous. He's kind of the wild card of the group, and as the station wagon, or I guess they called it an SUV, but it kind of reminds me of a Honda Forester kind of deal going on. I don't know, that's just me. But he is considered kind of rustic, outdoorsy type, very much kind of the old kind of cowboy character. Loves just doing long drives. He'll drive anywhere and everywhere, off-road, on-road, uphill, on a mountain, underwater, up staircases, through buildings. I think at some point you even see him swinging from building to building with a grappling hook. Just yeah. Yeah, he is definitely kind of a cool character, kind of a wild gun in that one. Speaking of guns, not very much impressed by it. You're not high-tech, mimbo jimbo, rocket thrusters, no matter what, he's not impressed by it. He wants to see how much guts you have. He wants to see how much grit you have. He wants to see what you could do hand to hand. But yeah, he's a cool character. Other than that, you don't really find a whole lot off him when you try to look for his bio. It's more of the stuff you see in the show. But yeah, let's get more into this SUV mode. I don't know what to call this. A van, SUV, a hatchback. I'm gonna call it a hatchback. It's a lot more of a hatchback-esque to me. But you see, he kind of has the painted headlights, and I know that they, do have the silver behind it, but when it comes to the little details like this, he's definitely the one that lacks the most out of the other two brothers. Now, these is where it comes to the bad part, the little issues. These tires are pretty, when I got them, they had pretty bad, dry rot. I was able to bring the moisture back into it, using letting them sit in some motor oil, but they were already cracked all the way through. Well, on this side there, was a complete crack on this wall, and I think it's on this one too. And you can see there's still some minor cracks. So I just kind of helped prolong it, I guess, putting the moisture back in it. but it definitely sucks. Maybe I could find like a hobby shop that could sell like ABS plastics or whatnot. I don't want to have to buy a parted out figure. Like I already got this one for $12. I don't want to spend like another $10 or whatnot just for some tires and make this a $20 to $30 to $40 to $50 figure. Just trying to get tires through it. So a little bit of a bummer, but that's just kind of the risk of getting these old toys because they all had that problem. Other than that, everything came complete. The paint is perfect, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned. Hello. Howdy. That is something you see in the show. His head does just pop out there at one point because he was actually posing as one of the characters' SUV, hatchback, whatever. And he had to just, eject her out, and his head just kind of popped up like that. So it's that's kind of cool. Although I'm pretty sure they, the toys came out and they kind of based around the toys, or they definitely worked very close together. Another little cool feature, and this is just for car mode. It kind of takes a little bit of room. There you go. At least on mine. Sometimes it just get stuck in there and you just kind of gotta get a good. There we go. Oh. But yeah, you have the hood pops up, so you can actually like look at the engine and everything. So that's cool. That's definitely a cool feature, and that's just for that's just for the car mode, hatchback mode. It's bothering me. I don't know why it's bothering me. I just don't know what to call it. Yeah, his doors open just like his brother's though, so you could have it. I mean, you can't really say sit anybody in there, but if you want to have the doors open and close, that is something you can do. And the wheels still roll quite nicely. So definitely a fun figure. Yeah, let's get some similarities. Not similarities. What word is that? People help me. Call help. I might need it. Send the straitjacket crew. Comparisons. Let's do some comparisons. With some things of the modern day era. Here we have dive bomb. Right? Sky bomb. Either way, here we have him with a modern core. Which, I mean, granted, they kind of sky bomb had kind of a dive bomb. Now I got myself mixed up. Like I said, call out. Dive bomb has a little bit of a wider vehicle mode than most of your core classes would. Here we have him with a modern deluxe and Voyager. Here you have him with Skids, who's kind of becoming a popular mold nowadays. There's like 8 of these. It's kind of like seeker status at this point. Then here we have Ironhide. So as you can see, he's kind of like right in between, which kind of makes sense considering where he came out. But yeah, here he is with some other van SUV looking, based characters. His characters. Get into some more RID things. We do have our Legacy Robots in Disguise Universe Scourge, who, I mean, I think that scales pretty nicely. What is screen caught? figure that out later. It might just be something under my tablecloth. No, just pretend that didn't happen. And my stand-in for a slapper. And then obviously here he is with his brother, or at least the other one we have revealed already. Here he is with Mac Alert, or Crow. And I was just saying, like, you could see, like, he didn't get any kind of painted tail lights or whatever, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I mean, I figure maybe because this part becomes the feet, so maybe they just didn't want to risk it, whatever it may be. Maybe the budget was low at this figure. And then when you look at the headlights, it's just kind of the whole body's just kind of painted with just kind of little pieces of plastic there, where you kind of have a detailed painted headlights there. Either way, I still love them, and it's still a great figure. So coming down to the actual rating, what do I rate this vehicle mode? Well, all things considered, I think it's a 5-star vehicle mode. I know there might be some people that's nitpicky, like, oh, you could see inside the windshield, they should have tinted it or painted it or something. Oh no, Robo Kibble, I don't see that as an actual issue, counting that happens in the show from time to time, and they had to put the kibble somewhere. So I don't think that should be taking points away. The tires thing, that's something that just happens over time. That was something that wasn't necessarily they were looking at, you know, from a future standpoint, and now they know, and they found a better plastic to use because of it. So can't necessarily take points away for a mistake that was taken that many years ago. So I still think it's a 5-star vehicle mode to this day, especially since you can open that up with the engine. I think that's cool. I think we talked everything about Mac Alert and looked at his vehicle mode already. Let's take a time and get into that transformation, shall we? And here we have X-brawn or wildride in his robot mode, and he looks really cool. These are freaking, I mean, all these guys look cool and unique in different ways and in different aspects. Yeah, definitely a cool figure. Get into the details. It's a really cool head sculpts. Well, just design in general. That's his faux fist here, so he could have his rocket gimmick. But you know, as far as the faux fist go, it looks cool, and you could even, you know, put it on, you know, a side, so it looks like he's actually making a fist. So, not the worst, not the worst. Then we have all this going on back here, which is, that's just the way it goes. That is just the way it goes. I mean, that is accurate. Tires release, loosey goosey since this is all from sticking some more. But it doesn't affect his arm movement too much. You just kind of gotta work with things a little more. But all the movement is still there. So got his hand. And this one arm, got this little bow. And then his legs. Yeah, it is just the whole back of the vehicle, you know. Oh, wait. How dare I? There we go. Move these up front. Now there's the legs. And, yeah. That is, you know, let me show here. Yeah. That is accurate to how he looked. Oh, geez. He just had that awkward one arm. Oh, jeez. So, all in all, like it's true to the design, which, I mean, from what I hear, the toys came out first, then they made the show, but, or at least that they made the toys first. I think it was just close collaboration. So yeah, I think it was a little bit of both. Yeah, it looks cool. Definitely looks cool. Weapon wise, I guess let's get into the movements. Let's get into his posability, his articulation. I can't get over the chrome paint for the eyes. That really makes it pop. But yeah, his head is on a tight ball joints. I ain't trying to put too much stress on it. It's a little bit older. It is a little bit easier to move it when you pull it back a little bit, but it is more of just a swivel. No, you could lift up a little bit just due to the transformation joint, but no downward movement. This hand or this arm moves a lot more freely. So you got the ball joint here and a ball joint here. Do whatever your heart contents to that. Got a 90-degree bend. This arm, things get a little bit. These things in the back here get a little bit in the way. So you kind of gotta move that out of the way, but you know, if you move that to the side, you do get a full 360 movement. Upward movement is limited just due to the nature of how his arm is designed, so you kind of get just that much upward movement due to like in person of that, just because is there more? Isn't more. Does have a swivel right here, so you do get practically 180. You know, you gotta move with this to kind of get it where you want. If you want to get some absurd pose in, you do have a full bend at the elbow. I think you do have a wrist. Oh my gosh. Wrist rotation, but that's just to the ball joint. Nothing at the hips. Ball joints at the hips. Nothing at the waist. Ball joints at the hips. Swivel right below the knee. And I guess his toes would move down, but that's just due to transformation more than his posability. And as you see, these do come off, so you can take these off if you want. These become his weapons. Messed up my stand here. You have this kind of a sword saw kind of blade thing going on, and then I think what he calls this is axle missile, something like that. There's exhaust missile, exhaust blaster, low pipe, I don't know. It's been a while since I watched it, but you get these two, and there's a few different things you can do with them. There is different ports on his body if you just want to, stick, one of these on, I think, yeah, just can't stick that top one on. So if you want to stick this on his shoulder for any reason, you can. And same with right here. You can just kind of stick these anywhere on this here. I'm gonna stick this right here. Kind of have like a little underarm gun thing going on. Yeah, that's cool. You can do that. But what these are meant for is for his blaster, obviously. Either one will do. So you give him his little forearm blaster. It does shoot quite nicely. I got it. And you could do with either one. This one's kind of like a launching blade thing, so you could just harpoon somebody. But another thing you can do is you open up his thumb here. You can take this and slide it into his hand here. Move his thumb back down. And then you could have him holding this as like a blade. And then give him his little blaster on this side. Posing like however action pose you want to do. And there you go. It's a pretty cool little... I love these figures. I know there's a lot of people who are like kid death when it comes to symmetry, and if you get that reference, I love you. But some people just are very keen on symmetry. They want things to match. I have an odd love for things that are absurd, and I've always liked figures where like one arm is different than the other. Just because of the transformation, it makes the transformation a little more interesting. It makes the figure a little more interesting visually. And yeah, I liked it. So this figure with having just like front half of the car just becoming one arm, and then just the back part just becoming the legs, and the middle just forming out the middle. it's something that was a little bit different, you never seen before. And yes, the two doors kind of get in the way when playing with it, but as you saw, like, you can walk with things and you could get some pretty decent poses out of it. So let's move it to the side here. I guess we stand them up. I don't know why that was sounding weird. I'm so used to mispronouncing things. I tricked myself into thinking that I mispronounced it. I was like, wait, did I say that wrong? Standing? No, that sounds right. Gosh, people. My brain. All right. Of course, I move his head. So here he is with a modern class core. Nothing wants to stand. They're all just pulling pranks on me, or I don't know how to walk feet, I guess. There we go. It's cute. That's the one thing, his feet, since they're just kind of centrally, it's kind of hard to get, like, you kind of gotta walk with his feet when posing them a lot, since it doesn't have a tilt or anything. It's just more, these are the only thing that move, and he just kind of bounces on his heels. And then here we have our Modern Deluxe and Voyager. I imagine he'd probably be, he'd probably be made into a deluxe. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they did some remolding with this guy and pulled some magic out, made him that guy, like, just have this piece, like, posed piece, and then just rip this off, plug it on his arm, do some mold changes on that. Maybe even do something with this door so the door pops up. Maybe just make this door a molded piece with this and pop this whole thing off. And I don't know, man. I could see it happening. I wouldn't let it pass them. But yeah, we already know these Transformers have shrunken a little bit. So these deluxes, old deluxes, are kind of what we get as Voyagers nowadays. Here he is with our RID Universe Legacy Scourge. This still fits, this still scales pretty decently, I feel. Here he is with my Spitzer, aka Slapper. Standard for Slapper, and they look good together. And here he is with his brother. Oh gosh, let's get him to stand first and then move him. And yes, these guys, they look good together. I like the theme the brothers have with, like, a part of their car becoming like a part of their arm here, and a boop, boop, boop. Like, it's a theme that they have, and I definitely enjoy it. They all kind of have their own unique look to them. I know we haven't gotten to their other brother yet, but we will get to him. But yeah, definitely cool seeing these guys together. And yeah, again, he is definitely a cool robot. need to figure something out with these tires, but other than that, the paint is pristine, the plastic is good, nothing's worn out. I know some people might be a little bothered by this like faux hand thing that he has going on. Some sacrifices had to be made for the gimmick. You know, we were used to that through the early 2000s, and even the G1 babies. Not that everyone was a child when G1 came out, but as a term, like the people who were introduced to Transformers through G1, a lot of those toys didn't have a lot going on to them, so they had gimmicks, made it cool. So I don't, this doesn't necessarily bother me. I can see how this could get on some people's nerves from a modern day market. People might say the design's a little weird and they don't like it, but that's understandable. But that is just the design that they have for these characters, and I'm just one of the whack jobs who's just here to gobble that up. Yeah, I think that's all there is to talk about from a robot mode, except obviously the rating. Yeah, what do I rate this figure? Well, obviously I don't think you can. Let's see this. You would definitely get extra points if you could pull this off. Without the support of the missile. It's not happening, guys. I don't think it's happening. You'd have to use the missile support, I'd imagine. And even then, it doesn't look like... Oh, if you use the missile support, you can get him doing a high kick. I won't add points for that, but I won't take any away. It's posable enough to get him into any dynamic pose you might want to get him with. It's just the matter of working with it, working with joints and whatnot. Especially these kind of knee joints you have on here. It does kind of stuff I have a whole lot going on for ankle tilted or anything like that. But just ankles like this, it took a minute. It takes a minute. And that's kind of what you're looking at, like, is it worth the effort, But I was trying to prove a point, and he wants to try to prove me wrong on it. There we go. Just had to, you see, also I had it on a more flat surface with not fabric on it. He is posable enough to get him in dynamic poses. You just have to work with him. And that's more of like, to you that, if, again, is the effort worth putting in? That's kind of up to you. But you can do it. So I'm not going to give him any extra points for posability, but I'm not going to take him away because all the posability is there. The design is definitely there. The paint's out the window. So I'm definitely giving him points for the paint, design, plastic use, because there's almost no gaps in this guy. The gimmick is cool, so I'm giving him a 5-star robot mode. Like, this is a cool freaking toy. The design's cool. This arm might bother you, but nothing is necessarily hindered. Like, yeah, you can't move the arm all the way up, but you get enough movement from it that you can kind of make up for it. So yeah, 5-star robot mode in my opinion, and that is how we are going to end that. We got 2 of the brothers down, one more to go. Loving these guys. Again, one of my favorite series. I love the toys that come out of it. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's on YouTube. I'm pretty sure the dub is on YouTube. I can't necessarily speak for the actual anime. But good show. And the toys are just wonderful. So with all that being said, this is Havoc the Emo saying, remember there's nothing wrong with being a geek as long as you're feeling free, you're feeling you, do what you want to do what you can do, it's your life, it's your money, don't let anybody tell you you're too old to play, collect, or have fun. Till next time, YouTube Nation, peace.
Everyone found himself in some trouble again. Oh, he really needs to stop chasing after the little red sports cars.